What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be going over my brand new video editing PC that I just built. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this video. So if you are new here, my name is Jacob Scott and I make photography and filmmaking videos like this one every single week. Sort of. I just came off about a month break, but I'm back on it, trying to get back onto that every single week schedule. So if you are interested in those videos, be sure to go down below and hit the subscribe button. Also, something else to mention, I'm doing a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you want to get entered into that $100 Adorama gift card giveaway, be sure to hit the subscribe button to get to that 1,000 subscribers and check the first link in the description to actually get entered into the giveaway. Well, without all that said, what am I saying? Let's get into the video. Starting off, the motherboard that I went with was the ASRock X570 Phantom Gaming X. Now, the reason that I went with this motherboard is, one, it had 3 M.2 slots, so if I wanted to run M.2 in RAID and just have a lot of M.2s on the motherboard itself, I had the capability to do that. 2, this is a PCI Gen 4 motherboard, so if I want to use super fast M.2s, I have that capability, or any GPUs that can take, capability of that PCI Gen 4. Now, the GPU that I'm using is the Radeon 5700 XT. Now, the reason I went with this GPU over an NVIDIA GPU, because I know, using anything that's like Adobe products, NVIDIA tends to be favored, is the fact that when it came to other stuff, this GPU was often outperforming the 2070 Super, and it came in about $100 cheaper than the 2070 Super. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet on this GPU. Also, kind of hoping that, seeing that AMD is putting out a lot of really good stuff, that Adobe is gonna have to go ahead and better optimize it for this. Just the fact that I think a lot of people are going to be switching to AMD GPUs and to AMD CPUs. Now, the fourth thing, when it comes to storage, I have a total of 5 terabytes in this PC. 4 of those terabytes are taken up by two 2 terabyte just normal hard drive, both 7200 RPM. And that last terabyte is a 970 Samsung Evo 1 terabyte M.2 SSD. Now, I knew I wanted to use M.2s because they just tend to be faster, and I really don't know a ton about M.2s, but that being said, I can say that compared to my last PC, I can pretty much open Premiere Pro in about 10 seconds, which when you're opening Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro, and After Effects a total of like 20, 30 times a day, that is really nice to be able to just sit down, pretty much click on it, and boom, have it open almost instantly. So I will say that was definitely worth going ahead and getting that. Also, when I drop in files directly into Premiere Pro and have them stored on that SSD, it pretty much loads in those, it generates peak files pretty much immediately as soon as I drop that into Premiere Pro. So it just makes the workflow a lot faster, and there's a lot less waiting when you're using super fast storage like that M.2. Now, the case that I went with was the Cooler Master Box Pro 5. I don't understand why these names have to be so long. Now, a couple of reasons that I went with this case was, one, it was fairly affordable. It wasn't anything crazy. It was right around $100. Number 2, I thought the case looked pretty good, had a nice glass side panel, so I wanted something that you could actually see the hardware inside the actual case. And 3, it's a really big case. I did want a case that was gonna be large, easy to work in, and had pretty good cable management, which I think that this here does. And it also had pretty good reviews. People said that it was a fairly good cooling case to actually keep your components inside cool and had good airflow. Now, when it comes to the more boring stuff like the power supply, I went with the EVGA 750 watt, 80 plus gold rating modular power supply. Again, so much. Why is the name gotta be so long? Now, the reason I went with this power supply is because the components did not require 750 watts, so I wanted headroom with my power supply, whether I wanted to overclock or in the future just swap out parts. I wouldn't have to worry about changing the power supply out as soon as I wanted to do one of those things. And 2, I wanted a fully modular power supply just to keep cable management a lot nicer and keep the build looking a lot cleaner. And finally, the CPU that I'm using is the Ryzen 5 2600. Now, this is probably going to be a 2 to 3 part series because this CPU is not going to be staying inside this computer, because I currently have backordered the brand new Ryzen 9 3900X, which I had ordered, which I pretty much had ordered for over a month now. So B&H, please send me my freaking CPU because I want it really bad, because even though this is a lot better CPU than my last one, I still want that 12-core power. You got it? That being said, this is a 6-core, 12-thread CPU, which absolutely tears apart my previous CPU, which was a 4-core, 4-thread CPU, which was just honestly trash. It was garbage. It couldn't, 4K video, that CPU would be like... That being said, this one can handle 4K video. It's not absolutely perfect, but it is pretty good. And honestly, I feel like once I get some more kinks worked out with this computer, I can probably get it down running pretty well, especially if you use proxies. This thing blows through proxies. But sometimes just with 4K playback, it can get a little bit messed up, and you may have to stop your playline playback? Yeah. Every once in a while and just start it again to get it running smoothly. That being said, my new CPU that I'm gonna be getting soon is a 12-core, 24-thread monster that people are getting overclocked to like over 4 gigahertz. Sometimes I don't really know the exact clock speed of that one. All that I know is it's supposed to be ridiculous, insane. But as for this video, I'm not gonna get too much into benchmark, but I'm gonna really leave that for the final build when I get that 12-core, 24-thread CPU. And if you do wanna see that with the new Ryzen 9 3900X, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the post notifications right down below, and that's pretty much it for this one. I'll see you later. Also, it's 3:38 in the morning, so I'm going to bed.